This is Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob flying at you. There's been kind of a lot of shit that's been going on just in the last 2 days. Have you seen any of this monkeypox thing?
I played 18 holes of golf each of the last 2 days.
Yeah.
I've worked almost every other minute that I haven't been playing golf the last 2 days until right now where I'm here with you.
So no one at the gym has talked about monkeypox?
I mean, a couple of the kids, but
yeah,
I don't trust what they have to say or care what they have to say because they're all fucking idiots.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know anything about it, to be totally honest, other than it's been in the news.
Yeah, it's in Matt. So here are the details that I know exactly. It's like chicken pox. Now that's opinion, not fact. It's in Massachusetts. That's fact.
Yes.
And it's denoted by dots on the skin or whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you one other thing about it.
Yeah, me neither.
So is that our opener?
People are kind of flipping out over it. Yeah, that's our opener. Hey,
neither of us know anything about this thing.
What's the deal with monkeypox, huh? Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Because people, and by people I mean media personalities kind of ish, are alluding to the fact that it could be a thing, right? And I think it's funny because the vast majority of people are yeah, you can go fuck yourself with this. So the funny thing is, right, is now I'm totally making this up, right? But hey, that's what the show is. I think potentially monkeypox could be worse, and now define worse. I don't know, more deadly or more catastrophic to the body than COVID, right? Maybe, I don't know. I think you don't get sores on your body when you have COVID. You just get the fucking sniffles and you cough. So, and you lose your taste and smell. Awesome. And then if you're a jackass like me, you get myocarditis, but I survived. So, but monkeypox could potentially be worse, right, than COVID. And people are yeah, I don't have time for this bullshit. Because because we're so fucking traumatized from everything with COVID over the last 2 years. We have this new thing that people are wow, monkeypox. Oh man, that's pretty severe. And it might not be. It's probably not, more often than not. But on the scale of severity, it probably is more severe than COVID. And people are yeah, fuck off with that. I don't have the time for this. I have $7 gas to worry about, and the fucking stock market just crashed. So fuck, monkeypox can suck my dick, basically, is what people are saying. And I think it's hilarious.
Well, the way everything was handled before, people are sick of it. They're not looking for this.
Right.
They're not looking for new COVID.
No.
I can't say I assure you, but I'm fairly certain people genuinely don't want new COVID.
Yeah.
They're still on old COVID. The people that would want new COVID are still on old COVID.
Correct.
So I don't think they're looking for that. It also might get the lead buried by that school shooting today. So I haven't seen much about it. I know a lot of kids died, a teacher died, whatever. Not whatever, but I think that's the details.
Yeah, 2 students that I've heard 2 students. I don't know anything about adults, but
I don't either. I think I saw 14 somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Maybe 14 injured?
I thought I saw 14 dead, but
okay.
I don't know.
Could be.
Again, I haven't looked into it.
I don't know shit either.
And I'm going to tell you the only reason I haven't looked into it. It's not because I don't care. It's not because it's not near me. It doesn't affect me. the first tweet I saw about it was Ben Volen
Yep.
going something about like, prayers to the families, blah, 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 blah. It's too bad that the GOP something or it's like
Yep.
instant
politics
turned it political.
Yep.
So I think what we're gonna see is monkeypox. I think is gonna get buried by probably some more gun stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where these people get the fucking balls, and it's gonna be the liberal side. So liberal side, sorry, I'm fucking shitting on you right now. I don't know where they get the balls to make a massacre their platform.
Yep.
And this is why I'm pissed off. So I know we were talking monkeypox, but because I just fucking saw this.
Yeah.
And he's such a fucking pussy about everything.
Yep.
And him and Hags is a fucking pussy too. But I didn't see Hags fucking do anything. It's like, where the fuck do you get off making this your platform?
Right.
Like child murder. That's your platform. That's where you're gonna like spread your liberal agenda.
Yeah.
Child murder.
Yep.
Now, whether you are a fan of gun control, whatever, and you care that much, give it a day, 24 hours, maybe.
Yep.
Not right now. What the?
Let the families like grieve or like
there's no
let them figure it out,
frame.
Right? Like let them at least like figure out what the fuck happened. Like there could have potentially been like people that are still finding out within their whether it's close or extended ish families, like, and you're already making this about politics.
It's just too much.
Like it just happened fucking 6 hours ago, however long ago it was.
And it's happening everywhere too. Because now it's we have to do politics now. Yeah. And it's like, what a fucking shame.
So I saw
what a fucking shame.
Someone we went to college with retweeted. We weren't like super close friends, but still someone we went to college with retweeted this tweet from, I don't know, someone with a blue check mark. And the tweet was, "Fuck guns and fuck the people who choose them over the lives of children." Okay, well, let me try and approach this one slowly. First of all, I agree with you. Yes, fuck the people who choose guns over the lives of children. Correct. Anyone that would rather have a gun than the life of a child, yes, fuck that person. However, again, trying to approach this slowly, your statement kind of sounds to me, now please correct me if I'm mistaken, but it kind of sounds like to me that this individual is insinuating that you can either have guns or the lives of children. Right? Like, when in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Fuck guns and fuck the people who choose them over the lives of children. I don't know what to do with that other than just to call you an asshole.
Yeah, this is
so okay. I own a gun. How many children have I killed?
Apparently a bunch.
0. I know a lot of people that own guns and they've killed 0 children. So like, fuck guns and fuck the people who choose them over the lives of children. I don't understand. There's just so much I don't understand about that. You're just a total asshole. And like, this is what it is, right? It's immediately make it political. It's immediately binary, right? Like, it's in these people that want to, that cry for nuance. Well, of course, men can have vaginas and get pregnant. There's nuance to everything. Yes, women can have penises and set swimming world records. It doesn't matter. There's nuance to everything. You can be gender fluid. You could be a trans woman on Monday, and you could be a cis normative male by Thursday. Like it's everything's fluid. There's nuance to everything. You're not stuck by one thing. Oh, okay. So like, how do you feel about guns? No, fuck guns. Guns are bad. If you own a gun, you kill children.
Yeah.
Well, what about the nuance here? Like, what about the responsible gun owner? No, there's no such thing as responsible gun owner. Gun owners are bad. All right. Hey, man. So remember, like, I don't know, 15 seconds ago when you were telling me that there's a nuance to everything in life and like the whole gender fluidity thing. And of course, men can get pregnant and women can have penises. Where did that go now? Like, just because this is a topic that you don't agree with? Like, okay, let's talk about abortion. Well, obviously, we need to have abortion because what if rape, right? What if rape? What if incest, right? That's their big thing. What if there's nuance to this? We have to allow abortion. Oh, okay, that's fine, man. But what about people that responsibly own guns? No, there's no such thing. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you could go back and forth with people about this stupid bullshit all day. And it's like when it's something that they're in favor of, well, of course there's nuance to it. There's layers to this. Like, you have to actually approach it like a human being. Okay, well, what about the southern border? No, it needs to be open. Yeah, but like, shouldn't we like protect? No, you're racist. Oh, okay. You know, like I don't know, man. I this is why, again, I think I said it in the last episode. I hate everybody. And like, not just as a joke, like I truly do actually hate everybody and everything and every whatever other preposition you can think of. Everyone, everything, every time, every moment. Fuck it all. And everything sucks, right? Like every day, what is it? Every day is the worst day or something.
Well, are we talking about Big Jim Murray? Or are we talking about
Office Space?
What about today? Is today the worst day of your life?
Yeah.
Fucked up. No, he says, he goes, every day you see me is the worst day of my life. So, or, you know, it's any day that you see me, you are seeing me on the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
What about today? Is today the worst day of your life? Yes. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That's a good scene in that movie.
Yeah. But it's like, seriously, like that's applicable at this point because you can't talk to people anymore.
No, this is a joke.
About anything. And then you can flip it on the other side, right? So we just opened up the show shitting all over liberals. Let's take a second to shit all over conservatives because in the same breath, right? You can talk to someone who's like, oh, well, of course we need to think openly and honestly about guns, and just making guns illegal isn't going to stop the criminals from getting guns because they obtain their guns illegally anyway. So as long as we have responsible gun control, like we're okay with that, right? Like there needs to be some sort of like, not anyone should just be able to walk into a store and say 1 gun, please. Like, yeah, no, absolutely. There should be some hoops to jump through and prove that you can be responsible. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. What about abortion? No, abortion's terrible. That's against God. You're murdering. Oh, okay. But like, don't you think people should have the right to choose what they want to do with their body?
No. Like that.
Oh, well, what about that vaccine that we just dealt with for the last year and a half? Well, that's different. That's science. That's new science that you're putting something into your body and all this. No, fuck off. You're just as bad as the cocksuckers on the left. Like, you're willing to accept nuance when it's an argument that you're in favor of. And then when you're not in favor of it, it's ones and zeros. So you can unkindly go sit on a fucking English cucumber as far as I'm concerned.
It almost sounds like you just provided a definition for a word that's pronounced hypocrisy.
Yes. Hippocrates. He was a Greek philosopher.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see the next couple of days, we're going to see a lot of hypocrisy from the right.
Yep.
we're gonna see a lot of, I don't know, is it political grandstanding, like using a tragedy to
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a pretty fucking miserable time to pay attention to mainstream media. So I would recommend you just don't do it. And actually,
Yeah.
this is gonna come out, it's gonna be too fucking late. You're already gonna be consumed by it.
Well, luckily for you and I, we don't watch the news anyway. So
No, I try not to, but you know, I got fucking Volan tweeting about it. I gotta fucking block him. He's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, he is the worst. Although it is fun though to go on Twitter tirades against Ben Volan.
No, because he doesn't get it. He's such a fucking pussy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of it too is, and I think neither side is immune to it, but I think it is certainly more prevalent on the left than it is on the right. But a lot of it is the virtue signaling, right? Like I have to let my team know that I belong. Like I need to show everyone that I'm for gun control and that guns are bad. So people know I'm a good person. And it's like, do you even really believe that?
Never mind. Like I'm just like kind of going through, because so I like when you were kind of like monologuing there, I wasn't listening, and I was going through because I was hoping to find some more like Twitter comments and whatever, because some of it's floating around right now. And fuck. Where was I going with that? Virtue signaling.
You were going around Twitter. People on the
Okay,
left have to let everyone know they're good people.
Where the fuck was I gonna go with that? Dude, I literally just lost my like completely lost my train of thought. Like this is fucking Frank Costanza at Festivus. When
you're
he's
gonna go to
tell
Tulum,
Kruger he couldn't fucking smooth whatever the fuck. Fuck.
You were scrolling through Twitter. You were talking about blocking Ben Volan.
Virtue signaling. Hey, this is my team. This is my side. Like, I don't even know what point I was gonna make. That's so bad. I think I just went full Tropic Thunder.
That's how much these people suck.
I'm just like so annoyed. Like it's so irritating.
Yeah,
dude, I have no idea what my point was gonna be. I swear to God, I had one. I do not remember.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna repeat myself. I was gonna say something different. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just people suck. I hate it.
So monkeypox will get buried.
Yeah. So monkeypox, it depends how long it kicks around. If it keeps jumping to people, then maybe. But so apparently I got a little thing here about the monkeypox. It is related to smallpox, right? And smallpox kind of is no joke. I think as long as you get medical treatment, you most likely won't die. But like smallpox is kind of a big fucking deal, right? So this is what I mean. This is what I opened with, where I think it's funny that monkeypox is potentially worse than COVID, like a worse disease than COVID. And people are like, yeah, I don't have time for this bullshit. So it's also the WHO, right? The World Health Organization, not the band fronted by Roger Daughtry.
So are we listening to them again?
I don't know.
I thought
but I don't know. I have to lick my finger and stick it in the air to see which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah. What day? So do we have like a chart where
when we trust the WHO?
Yeah, it's the third week of the month and it's a Tuesday. So do we trust or not?
Yeah. Just you need like a flow chart.
Or just like a flip or something.
Yeah. Like, is it Tuesday? Yes. Okay. Is it May? Yes. Okay.
An even number month or an
odd number? No. Okay. Go over here. You need a flow chart. So the WHO says it is being sexually transmitted between humans. And most cases have been reported among gay men. Now, if you can't find the humor in this, you need to pull the English cucumber out of your asshole, because this sounds a lot like the 80s, right? And now I wasn't around for the 80s, but you hear the stories, right? Sounds a lot like the 80s when what was big? Well, it was AIDS, the AIDS pandemic, right? That was the big one. Oh, everyone's going to die of AIDS.
Because some guy fucked a monkey, right?
What did they say? Some guy fucked a monkey. Okay, which
got AIDS.
turns out wasn't true, but that was the story.
Yeah, so we fucked the monkey.
So we fucked the monkey. He gets AIDS, and then what's the population that is most at risk for AIDS?
Gay men.
Gay men. So if you're reading about the monkeypox right now and you can't find the humor in this, holy fucking shit. Like I said, pull the fucking pole out of your ass, because this is hilarious.
Show writer, I hope our current show writer's listening. You're repeating yourself.
Yeah.
With a new name. Yeah. You need new material.
Yeah. This was like in 2020 when I forget what it was. They repeated something. And then one of the show writers just got fired off because he wrote in murder hornets, and then he got fired, and then nothing happened. But yeah, so this is from the World Health Organization. It says it is being sexually transmitted between humans, and most cases have been reported among gay men. The monkeypox. Like, come on. You don't have to be Charlie Day in the meme looking for Pepe Sylvia to make the connections on this one. This is pretty fucking hilarious.
They've been looking for their mail for 2 weeks.
So, also, this is great too. So this particular strain of the monkeypox that's making its way around in humans is approximately 1% fatal. So in the next bullet point here, it says, President Biden said that, quote, everybody should be concerned by the outbreak. Although, and that was the end quote, although one pathologist told the article, the newspaper, in a broader context, this isn't an infection we should really be worrying about. So you have...
You know anything else that's like a 1% mortality rate?
I don't know.
Like, is pneumonia, or is pneumonia higher than that?
Pretty sure pneumonia is higher than that.
Yeah, okay. Heart disease definitely higher. Every cancer is way higher.
Yep. Unless it's like melanoma. I think melanoma.
Yeah, that you can like physically remove.
Yeah, you literally just cut a piece of skin out and you're like, hey, you don't have cancer anymore.
All right. Well, what other diseases do we have? We went through pneumonia. What's another?
Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is pretty fucking bad. Rickets.
Ebola. Yeah,
Ebola is pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah. Anything else around 1% that you can think of?
I don't know. If there is, it's escaping my memory.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe something that's less than 1% even, because I think wasn't there something that was just going around the last couple of years that was like 99.6% or it was a 99.6%.
I'm not doing decimals.
Non-lethal. So yeah, but yeah, we've got something that has a roughly 1% mortality or fatality rate. And the president says everyone should be concerned about this. But then a different pathologist whose job is quite literally works with viruses or diseases, I guess, in a broader context, because a virologist would be just viruses. So a pathologist is someone that works with all diseases. This is their job. They said, this is an infection we shouldn't be worried about. Huh. There's so many lines to be drawn. Actually, the more we talk about this, the more it does start to look like Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, we got to get the yarn going.
Yeah. All the lines go back to Pepe Sylvia. It's like, what are we doing? If you can't figure it out by now, like, this has never been about your fucking safety, right? you have a disease that is affecting the gay community from monkeys, originated in monkeys, has a 1% fatality rate, and the president is telling us that everyone should be greatly concerned. Yet scientists are like, this doesn't fucking matter. Yep. There's already like people making jokes about like the lockdowns. One of my favorite memes is the one from the Joker. I think Vinny might have sent it to our Snapchat group, or maybe I just got it from Vinny on Instagram. It's the picture from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, like going down the stairs, like dancing. And then there's just like a clown like superimposed next to him. And it says COVID showing monkeypox how to do like the next pandemic or something. And it's fucking hilarious. It's just funny because they're both clowns.
Yeah, it's Pennywise, right?
Yeah. Oh, is it Pennywise?
Yeah. Did you send that to me?
Did I?
I saw
might
that.
have.
Did
I might
Finn
have.
send it to me? No. Maybe it was in the Snapchat group.
Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure Vinny sent it to the Snapchat group. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is Pennywise. It's COVID showing monkeypox around the workplace. And it's Joaquin Phoenix pointing Pennywise around the stairs. But like, seriously, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Besides wasting time.
Well, I mean, I don't know what everyone else would do if they weren't wasting time.
Yeah, I know. I was actually talking about something similar to this today with one of my coworkers. And I had mentioned, like, I forget what podcast I was listening to. I'm pretty sure it was like a Joe Rogan podcast, though. And I don't know whether it was Joe or his guest that had said, what do you think would happen if prominent figures in the media started using rhetoric and language that was cohesive versus divisive, right? So like everything in media is essentially telling people to hate someone else, right? Like if you go on Fox News, it's the Democrats are destroying the country. They're tearing us apart. They're letting illegal immigrants in. They're trying to take all your freedoms away, right? They're creating this ministry of truth and all this shit. It's 1984 on Fox News. And then you go to MSNBC or literally any other one because they're all left wing except for Fox. And it's like, the Republicans are racist. You should hate them because they're racist. They don't want you to have control over your body. They're sexist and misogynist because they don't want women to have abortions, right? You should hate them for that. Like all in the mainstream world, this is why you should hate the other side, right? And again, I don't know whether it was Rogan or the guest that was like, what do you think would happen if they started saying like, hey, don't forget everyone, like we're all the same. Hey guys, like don't forget, like we're all humans. We're all the same people. We might have some differences of opinions and we might look different, but like, you know, to borrow a trite pandemic phrase, like we're all in this together, like really, because we're all Americans and, you know, we can work things out and, you know, with good, solid, intuitive, intellectual conversation, like we can probably come to a middle ground and like, maybe we don't really need to agree on everything, but like, you know, we can be friendly to each other. Like, what if that was the narrative? Like, what if all of the news places were like promoting that type of narrative instead of like, this is why you should hate them?
Why would you watch? Like, why would anyone watch if it wasn't divisive or my team or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, dude, I feel like there would be plenty of people that would watch that are like in the middle, right, of the political spectrum, because they're the ones that are so fucking sick of everything.
They want the people on the extreme ends because they're the ones that are going to be the quote unquote like raving fans.
They're the fanatics, right? They are. It's really what it is. It was so I read a book a while ago, or listened to a book. I think it would be more appropriate. It was by Matt Taibbi, and it was called Hate Inc. And I think I talked about it on the podcast, like after I listened to it. But it really broke down how politics became what it is today, and about just hate first, and about how somewhere along the line, someone in like big corporate media realized that they can take the sports model and apply it to politics. And that's really what happened, right? Like if you have a Red Sox fan and a Yankees fan, you can't talk to them about baseball in the same room.
No.
And that's what's happened, right? We've turned into a nation of Red Sox fans and Yankees fans, except it's politics. It's no, Ted Williams wasn't the greatest baseball player ever. Obviously, it was Babe Ruth. You're a fucking moron for thinking that. Or, yeah, no, obviously Derek Jeter is the greatest shortstop of all time. Well, no, fuck you. No, it's not.
No, he's overrated.
He's overrated. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like, somewhere in the 2000s, maybe the 2010s, I would say probably mid 2000s, the news outlets, like something clicked for them, and they were like, wow, look at these sports teams. Like you can have, I don't know, pick a shitbag franchise. You can have fans. You can have the Pittsburgh Pirates that win 46 games in a season, but they have a packed stadium, you know, out of 82 home games. Say they still sell out 40 games. They're still selling out 40 games, and they're still filling a stadium of 40,000 with 15 to 30,000 on an average night. Like the team that sucks, that literally won 46 games in a season, has tens of thousands of fans that love the team and want to still go. They're like, wow, how do we do that with politics? Like, how do we get people to care about what we have to say like that? And boom, thus the fucking sports and like mantra or whatever you want to call it was applied to politics, and now we're fucked, right? Because how do you go back?
No, there is none. No. Again, this is the worst time to be alive, and every day is worse than the one before.
Yeah, quite literally, right?
Yes, it's awful, absolutely terrible.
Meteor 2024. Or Volcano. It should be Meteor Volcano 2024. We should make those t-shirts.
Yeah, how good is your graphic design?
Yeah. Maybe I'll try and make those t-shirts, and I'll see if I can pop them up on the store, and then I'll blast them out on social media. That would be awesome. Meteor Volcano 2024. That's good. I like that. I got to write that down because I'll forget. I don't have anything to write on.
What the fuck? Put it in the fucking sheet.
Yeah, I'll do that. I was just going to write it on a random piece of paper that I just found. All right.
How do I was going to try to go on Canva really quick, but they don't want me to fucking log in. That's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I'm not logging in. I don't care that much.
Trying to see like we got anything else going on.
So here, I got a random hypothetical that I just watched because I got the women's golf NCAA team women's golf tournament.
Okay.
It's a weird order of words, whatever. So you make a hole in one on the 17th hole, 15th hole. 16th hole. You make a hole in one on the 16th hole. But you lose the match on the 17th hole, do you celebrate?
What are the parameters?
Well, after the
Like
round,
post, do you celebrate
like
post
after
loss?
the round, do you go in and celebrate? So
No, absolutely not. You lost.
because some girl made a hole in one on the 16th hole.
I would celebrate on the 16th hole. Like once I made a hole in one, I'm celebrating. I'm throwing the fucking club in the air. I'm running around, hugging someone. Like I just made a fucking hole in one. And then when I subsequently lose on the next hole, I like, all right, well, this fucking sucks.
Hole in one on
home.
16, lost the match on 17, and her team is probably going to lose their match against Oregon. I think this is Texas A&M. So it's like almost like double loss. Like you lost your individual, you lost your team match, but you made a hole in one.
Right.
That's a tough spot to be in.
And she's celebrating after the loss.
Well, no, the teams are still going. I assume she won't be celebrating shit because they're gonna fucking get throttled.
Yeah.
Oregon's up 2-0, and then they're leading the other 3 matches 2-1. It might be a 4-1 loss for Texas A&M.
Yeah.
But I'm like sitting there and I'm like, hole in one, like usually that's fucking, it's like please send money to cover bar tab.
Yeah.
But
not if you lose.
I was gonna say, but you lose the match and your team potentially loses too.
Yeah, you don't.
Although, how much celebrating can you really do in an NCAA event?
Yeah.
So I guess Willie Wilcox told a story when he made his first hole in one. It was like some par 3 place near his house, whatever. His mother came. No, was it him? Maybe it was a different golfer. Anyway, some golfer made their first hole in one, whatever, and the mother shows up after the round and just like left cash for the bar. The kid was like 15 or 13 or whatever. But the mother had to show up. He goes, "Oh, your father said you made a hole in one. He sent me down here to pay the bar tab." I was like, that's the only like real downside to like the whole hole in one thing is then you got to buy everyone.
Yeah.
Or it's like, again, I'll let that problem happen, but like if I ever make a hole in one like mid workday, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you're supposed to just
like leave and be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
It's always a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, don't celebrate if you lose. That's just should be a
I
rule.
would not celebrate. So the whole, I definitely would look at it like I lost and my team lost. So what the fuck was the point of hitting a hole in one?
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it too.
Especially in a collegiate event too.
Yeah. All right, I got one more thing, I guess, potentially before we wrap things up. I don't know, depending on how long things go for. But this actually applies to the theme of the show. The title of this is Americans Are Disgruntled. So shout out to Roca News, right? I've talked about them before. I get their daily email with like the top, stories of the day. That's like no bullshit, straight, just news, no opinions. It's great. So they're not a sponsor of the show, and I don't think they do any kind of sponsoring anyway, but they could be if they wanted to. So that's rocanews.com. You just sign up for their daily email and you get real news. That's where I get my shit from. I don't watch any mainstream media. They can all fuck right off. So the title here is Americans Are Disgruntled. So what do you know? The whole first fucking 40 minutes of this show was us bitching and moaning about why people suck and why it's the worst time to be alive. Well, apparently we're not alone. So according to a CBS and YouGov collaborative poll, a large majority of Americans are displeased with the state of the country. Only 26% of respondents said things in the country are going somewhat or very well. So I would imagine this is one of those like 4-option things. Like, do you think things are going like very well, somewhat poorly, very poorly? Because 74% said things are going either somewhat or very badly.
I mean, is there any aspect of what's happening right now that's going well?
I don't know. That's where I'm
I can't think of
concerned
one
about the
thing.
26%. It's like 26% of people have like delirium.
No, it's probably fucking Tennessee and Alabama championing the fucking potential that abortion's going away.
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing that's going on in this country that I would consider a good right now.
Yeah.
So for me to give you an overall tune, I'd say very poorly. I guess if I was rating it, I mean, I would go very poorly, but it's probably closer to just poorly because I feel like a fucking depression or a recession would be very poorly.
Yes.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not quite there, but we're getting there.
Yep.
So again, 74% of people said they're going either somewhat or very poorly. 26% said somewhat or very well. So out of all of these respondents in this poll, people were most pessimistic about their finances. 77% of the people polled said that they were pessimistic about the cost of goods and services. When's the last time? So I can go back before this too, with the 74% of going somewhat or very poorly, and now the 77% is concerned about pessimistic about their finances. When's the last time 74 or 77% of anybody in this country said agreed on anything?
Yeah.
Like, do we have to go back to like the 60s? Like, I don't know. Like, how far do we have to go back? Do it, because it certainly wasn't Vietnam.
No.
Like, when's the last time that anybody, I mean, maybe everyone agreed that the gas crisis sucked in the 70s. So like maybe, but like, seriously, when is the last time that 74 and 77% of everyone in the country agreed on something? I think that's saying something, right? So 68% are worried about the economy or are pessimistic about the economy. So 68% of people think that the economy, like the bottom's about to fall out of the economy, essentially. 77% again don't like where the cost of goods and services are going. And then 67% of people are pessimistic about the stock market. So this is at best 2/3, right? The lowest number I've said so far was 67%, which is 2/3. So at best, only 2/3 thinks that we're in a bad spot.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. All the way up to 70, more than, 3/4, more than 3/4 of the country thinks that, we're in a tough spot when it comes to goods and services. And then more than 60% of all people, all respondents, said they were uneasy, worried, or frustrated about the current state of the economy. So 60% of all the people that were polled used those 3 words, at least one of those 3 words, to describe the country. I mean,
but yeah, things are going well.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone should be really concerned about the monkeypox. And don't forget your political grandstanding when there's a fucking school shooting.
People got too much fucking time on their hands.
Yeah.
So here's another thing. Why the fuck are people in Massachusetts like so fucking up in arms about this shit? Like, we have all the things that you want. What's the fuck? I don't know. I'm done.
Massachusetts is one of those states that I don't think there's a lot of them in the country. But Massachusetts is certainly one of those states where we kind of have it pretty good, right? Like we're kind of, I look at it as being like insulated from what happens in the rest of the country, right? So when the housing market crashed in 2008 and 2009 and everything tanked and went to shit, things certainly tanked in Massachusetts, but they didn't tank like they did in other places of the country. Like real estate in Tennessee probably dropped like 75%, right, in 08, 09. Real estate in Massachusetts probably dropped like 20 to 30%, which don't get me wrong, is still a lot, but like we are insulated from the really bad shit because despite how much we bitch about being here and how awesome it is to have seasons, it is actually a good place to live, right? As far as like policies of certain things and like ways of life, like let's call it way of life. Like as far as like the way of life goes, like Massachusetts is a pretty good place to live, right? It's not as extremely liberal as New York and California. It's not super conservative like Texas and Florida, but it's like, it's also not like kind of, it's not in the middle. It's not like we toe the line. We're certainly more liberal, but Massachusetts has like these little elements of it that are pretty conservative. And I think it's a good balance, right? I think it's a good balance of left and right. And sometimes we go a little bit too much to the left for my liking, but it is what it is. My opinion doesn't really matter, to be honest. But it's a good place to live, right? Like we have the best hospitals, not only in the country, but in the world. We're probably top 10, if not top 5 in the country when it comes to school systems. So it's a desirable place to be. We have seasons, right? So
well, you have seasons. Don't forget
it's a very desirable place to live and to be. So we don't really get hit with a lot of shit, right? Like the whole Obamacare thing, when that was going down and people were flipping out, like we already had that shit in place like years before that. Like it was called Romney Care. Like Mitt Romney put that in this state when he was governor back in what, the early 2000s. And like, they seem to kind of figured the shit out. Like you couldn't figure it out on the level of 330 million people, but like we could figure it out on the level of 6 million people that live in Massachusetts. So like,
yeah, it's awesome. That's why I have to pay like $350 a month.
Yeah, it's great. But like, you know what I mean? So like when big shit like that happens, it doesn't really affect us here. Like when they put in these like whatever gun control laws, like, well, we have gun control laws in Massachusetts. Like it's not super easy. Like it's depending on where you live, right? It's by municipality, which I happen to agree with. I think it should be by municipality. I think, you know, where you live should dictate how easy it is for you to get a gun. If you live in downtown Boston, you should probably have to jump through more hoops than someone that lives in Great Barrington, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like it's cool. I'm fine with that. So we already have that shit. Like it was relatively easy for me to get a license to carry when we lived in Mansfield. I don't know about North Attleboro. I would imagine it's just as easy, but it doesn't matter because I already have one. So now all I have to do moving forward is just apply for the re-up. Like I don't have to go through the whole process again. So it's like, you know, it's here, we're not affected that much by a bunch of crazy shit, right? Like even COVID, like Boston was locked down, mask, vaccine requirement forever until fucking January of 2022. But Mansfield and certainly North Attleboro ditched that shit like last summer. So I don't know. And I can't say for sure, right? Because we don't live in another state. Maybe New York is actually like that. Like maybe it's just the city that sucked, and maybe living in Syracuse was fine, or like the Finger Lakes region was fine. I don't know. But I feel like we kind of have it pretty decent here. Because like we don't really get it affected by these like big crazy sweeping changes. Like if abortion gets overturned, like if Roe v. Wade did ever get overturned, well, Massachusetts is going to keep abortion, because the only thing that overturning, again, if you're listening to the show and you're a liberal, which you're probably not a hardcore lefty if you listen to the show, because you would probably fucking try and kill yourself or one of us. But if you are, remember, if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned, all it does is just leave it up to the states, right? It doesn't make abortion sweepingly illegal across all 50 states. So if that were to get overturned, Massachusetts is still going to have abortion. You know what I mean? It's like, but yet, like you said, the people that live here in this state, you would think that like, it's like the fucking Salem witch trials and they're about to be put on the stake. Like, you guys have it fine. Like, this is one of the best states to live in the country, in my opinion. You know, like I said, the weather kind of fucking blows, but like outside of the weather, like Massachusetts is like kind of fine. Like it's, and again, the things we bitch about, right? Because it's what we care about. We care about the weather and we care about sports betting. Well, we're huge pieces of shit and we strike out on both of those. But like for the normal person, like Massachusetts is like really cool. It's a really great place to live.
Ugh. Makes me sick.
Yeah, I make me sick.
Although there's probably no state that can make me happy.
South Carolina?
I bet you South or North can make me happy.
Yeah.
Truthfully, the only issue is the fucking heat in the summer. Like,
yeah.
I've never lived there. I'm questioning if I could handle,
100 and humid. Yeah. Although, I mean, I say it all the time. I would take 100 degrees over 0 degrees 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I think I would too. But I've never lived there, so I don't want to say I definitely would or definitely wouldn't.
Right.
But fuck, the cold sucks.
Yeah. It does fucking suck. It's the worst.
Well, plus if the Carolina is like closer to the coast, if they get a sea breeze, it should be cold, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's a sea breeze.
Yeah, sea breeze is cold.
It's just like the Cape. Keeps you cool in the summer and keeps you warm in the winter.
Yeah. That's what I've been told. That's what we were taught.
Yeah. So, I mean, outside of the heroin, I guess the Cape is the best place to live then. If Massachusetts as a state is already great.
Obviously, it's a seaport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true, too.
I was in the seaport on Saturday. The sea breeze, it was cold. It was like nature's AC.
Yeah. No, that is a legit thing. I've been working in Cambridge this week, and I'll be there for the next 4 weeks doing a move for this company. And
it's cold.
It's cold. It's cold in Cambridge. It
was only 60 today. Like it was like 90 on Saturday. But that sea breeze, it must have felt like 55.
Yeah, I need a light jacket.
Yeah, it's cold. That sea breeze is cold in the summer and warm in the winter. So the seaport must be like Vegas.
Yeah.
In the winter because of that warm sea breeze.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Assholes.
Yeah, it really helps. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, sure.
Yep, you're right. All right. Well, you want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah. Well, so since we've been crushing liberals, politicians, political ideas, whatever. So obviously there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in schools. And by fucked up, I mean like the ideas aren't bad, the methods are awful. So obviously like gender and sexuality is a fucking thing.
Right.
So one of my athletes, age and school will rename, he's in high school, but so actual age and grade grade in school will remain nameless to protect those involved, whatever. Had an assembly today for all athletes on homophobia. And they all had to go, and they all had to do their thing. And I've already had my problems with this school because like the English teacher tries to do all this like gender and sexuality shit. And it's like, bro, that person went to school for English. Like they were an expert in English.
Yes.
And I went to school with a lot of teachers. and they're just as fucking stupid as I am. I fucking promise you they are.
Most of them more so.
Yeah. Most of the teachers I know are fucking retarded.
Yep. Most of the teachers that we went to college with were really fucking dumb.
Yeah, if they're my age, I frankly, like, they are just as fucking stupid as I am.
Yes.
Like, because I don't want to sell myself short. Like, I am a dumb fuck, and they are no better.
Correct.
So for what they actually studied and what they should actually know, English, math, whatever, they're the ones that are going on the whole sexuality thing. And it's like, I don't think you even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And even if you are of any letter in the whatever, then I actually would argue that you're biased and shouldn't be teaching that stuff. You can comment on it and you can explain your situation, but you shouldn't be teaching that. It's like the guy who's like, well, I used to work out, so I'm going to train people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you have any idea what you're doing? No, but I'm jacked. Okay. So your qualifications are that you know how to lift. So you're going to teach people how to lift. Sick.
Yep.
So now part of this is almost like it almost feels like a South Park episode. Like, remember when they were doing the ADD testing? Did you ever see that episode?
I don't think so.
So they did, like, because they were testing all the kids for ADD, and every kid was getting prescribed Ritalin because the ADD test was they took some boring ass book, started reading it, and if the kids had fallen asleep, they just said they had ADD, so they prescribed Ritalin. So, like, they're doing a homophobia thing, and they're like, and there's people there like monitoring whatever, and if you're fucking around, like, you get spoken to and like you could get in actual trouble, whatever. So one of the hypotheticals that was brought up was, well, what would you do if someone came up to you and says, I like cock? And this kid instantly started laughing. He goes, I instantly started laughing. So there's a few of us in the gym. Everyone's a little bit older. And I'm laughing at it because of the absurdity of that statement.
Right.
That's, listen,
you're in a high school assembly.
You want you big ones, small ones, whatever. Go ahead. I don't care. So I guess that would be my answer in that hypothetical situation.
Right.
Someone comes up to you and says, I like cock.
Cool, man.
What do you do? Who are you? Maybe that would be my first question.
Yeah.
To go, oh, whatever. Second statement. First, one question, one statement. I don't give a fuck what you like. Get away from me.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand on that matter. But I just love the absurdity of the exercise because it's supposed to be like a teaching moment, but that's not how humans interact.
No.
And like, no one would ever walk up to me on the street and just be like, hey man, I like cock. Like, they would never say that.
No one. That's not how people talk.
That's not a human interaction. That is not ever in any situation. That's not how that works.
No, it's not.
Quite literally never.
Yep. Yes, correct. Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, when I met Mike's husband, did he immediately like, hey man, I'm Bobby, and he goes, hey man, I like cock?
Yeah.
That's not how that interaction went.
Nope.
He told me, he said his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's such a fucking.
And this is what I mean with the people being in charge not knowing what the fuck they're doing.
Correct.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. What the fuck did you just teach a high school kid?
Yeah.
By going through the fucking hypothetical situation, if someone walks up to you and goes, I like cock.
Yeah. Like, that's absolutely absurd.
I don't even think he could pay attention the rest of the time. Like,
so
I think
what was the kid's response and reaction to that? Was he like,
started laughing?
But no, like, did he think it was just as ridiculous as did he think it was absolutely absurd, like the situation?
I mean, he was sitting there. He's like, well, why would someone say that to me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So on a different on a high school age level,
Yeah.
like that's the level. Like like when
you
you're
go,
an adult, you can articulate it like how you just did, but when you're in high school, you're like, no one would say that to me.
why would
Why would someone say that?
But the thing is that this is how like they're teaching it. Like they're teaching for people to like be accepting whatever, and it's like, but that's not a realistic thing. That's not how it happens. And I would really, really, really like to ask anyone in the community, any gay male or whatever the fuck, to walk up to someone randomly and just say, I like cock. And I really want to know, what the fuck would you expect from that interaction?
You know what that just reminded me of? I was like, that would be the equivalent of like, I'm just thinking like this thought popped into my head of being like in a dare class and doing like a hypothetical in dare, which I don't even know if they still have dare, but like it would be like if someone just walked up to, what would you do if someone walked up to you and said, do you want to buy some drugs? It's like, that's not how that works. Like people don't just like walk up to you off the street and be like, do you want to buy some drugs? Like that. I've walked a lot of streets in a lot of bad areas, and I've walked by a lot of sketchy people that are probably drug dealers. And never once has someone been like, hey man, do you want to buy some drugs?
So outside of Black Doug from The Hangover,
Yeah.
someone that walks up to somebody else and going, do you want to buy some drugs, has to be the world's worst drug dealer.
Yes, 100%.
Generally, drug dealers like to keep a low profile.
100%. Yep. It's the same. It's very similar, right? There's similar situations. Like that's, as you were just talking, like that's the thought that popped into my head. Like that's the equivalent of like a drug dealer walking up to you being like, hey man, do you want to buy some drugs? But like, just like that, not even being specific about it. Like, do you want to buy some weed or do you want to buy some heroin? It's just walk up to you and say, do you want to buy some drugs? Like that's the same level of absurdity as that hypothetical of what would you do if someone walked up to you and said, I like cock? Like that is literally the same level of absurdity. Like that's what you're teaching, right? Like that's what you're trying to teach the kids.
And you want high school, presumably straight males to A, take that lesson serious, but B, learn something from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Get fucked. That's so stupid.
Awful. Also pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely hilarious. I mean, I laughed when you said that now, and I'm 30. Like,
because that's the thing though, is like, if you say that, if you're gonna try to teach like a 7th grade or something like that, like they might not know that that's a weird fucking thing to say to another person.
Yeah.
Like that's not how people communicate.
Yeah, because kids still say weird. They do say and do weird shit in middle school.
Yeah, and like they might not understand. Like okay, so I got like I've got some 5th, 6th, 7th graders, 8th graders. They probably get it. 5th, 6th, 7th graders. You go up to one of those. I already know the fucking kid. He's in the 5th fucking grade. Walks in. He's always tired, whether it's morning, night, or fucking afternoon. Always tired, and there's always food falling out of his pockets. Like he's just got like fucking cereal in his pockets or crackers in his pockets. Like it's insane. It's like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you always have food falling out of your pockets? I don't know. What would happen is if someone was gonna do this I like cock thing, they would go up to this kid and go, I like cock. And he would just fucking deadpan stare back at the person and go, okay. And then like that would be it. Like that would be the interaction.
And then eat some cereal out of his pocket.
Yeah. It's fucking insane. He's always got like loose cereal. Like, why the fuck do you have Cheerios in your pocket? You're fucking 11, not 3. Or it's like he has like goldfish. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
What are you doing?
It's like his sweatshirt pouch is like a feed pocket. Like, why the fuck is there loose goldfish in there? There's no wrapper or package. It's just like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, middle schoolers are fucking weird. They're so fucking weird. Yeah, and that's a dumb hypothetical. Oh man, that's funny. That was really good. That got me. That got me good.
You be able to formulate a final thought?
Yeah. Woo. I'm sweating. My final thought is gonna stay in line with everything sucks and it's the worst time to be alive, and we want the Meteor Volcano 2024. So I still don't really know how I feel about this, and maybe I'll formulate an opinion as I just talk about it on the fly. But so Walmart decided to come out. You know, they have their own brand, right? The Great Value brand. So Walmart decided that they're going to create a Juneteenth ice cream.
Juneteenth ice cream.
Yep.
Okay. Well, do we have a flavor on this Juneteenth ice cream?
We do. It is red velvet and cheesecake flavored ice cream.
Red velvet and cheese. That already exists.
Yep. It's essentially chocolate, right? Because red velvet is just chocolate. So it's essentially chocolate cheesecake flavored.
Yeah. So it's red chocolate.
Yep. Yeah. Red chocolate. It's red chocolate and cheesecake flavored ice cream.
Does that have anything to do with the African American or Black community?
Nope. Yeah, pretty sure it doesn't. Pretty sure it doesn't. I mean, on one hand, it's better than if they did like, you know, fried chicken and collard greens. Yeah, chicken and waffle flavored. That would probably be in poor taste. But also like red velvet and cheesecake, like,
yeah, it's red velvet.
I feel like you just had an idea for a new ice cream and then just was like, let's call it Juneteenth. Like someone thought of it like recently and they were like, oh, instead of like doing this, why don't we just run it as a Juneteenth? And then here we go. Wow, John, that's a great idea for a new ice cream flavor. How do we fuck this up?
Yeah, like I have no idea. Like,
yeah,
because if you're trying like, yeah, red velvet, like,
yeah,
cheesecake. I don't know.
So
random.
To get more into it, Walmart thinks they're doing something good, right? They create a celebration edition for a Juneteenth ice cream. That's their red velvet and cheesecake ice cream.
Okay.
Well, it fell unappreciative, I guess. So the little spiel on the ice cream container says, share and celebrate African American culture, emancipation, and enduring hope. And the whole package is like, it's like a black background with red, green, and yellow stripes on it, right? Because that's pretty much all the colors that are in African flags and stuff like that. So they think they're doing something great, and people just freak the fuck out. So a little bit here. It was called the latest entry to the Tone Deaf Marketing Hall of Fame. Let's see. It was the Twitter mob called the idea garbage. Exploitative for capitalism's sake was another thing they're talking about.
So are people mad that because Juneteenth is becoming in Massachusetts, it's for sure a holiday now. Is it federal?
Yes.
Okay. So are people mad that since Juneteenth has now become a federal holiday, Walmart created a product celebrating it in which they will generate revenue from? Like, is that what they're mad about?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think mostly what it has to do with is just not being able to please anybody, right?
Yeah.
Because like if no one ever did anything for Juneteenth, they'd be like, see, everyone's racist. No one celebrates this. So Walmart's like, oh, why don't we make something and celebrate this new holiday? And people are like, oh, it's racist.
You're
like,
just
okay.
Yeah, I don't. But like, so obviously, Juneteenth is more racially significant than the 4th of July. But I believe they both celebrate the same theme, like independence in a way. Or I guess it's independence versus emancipation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know those are different terms, but they're similar terms in a way.
Yeah.
And if you create an ice cream that's like a 4th of July ice cream and it's, red, white, and blue and whatever the fuck flavors that is, I don't give a fuck. That's all they're doing, but with Juneteenth.
Basically, yeah.
But people don't like it because they're profiting off of Juneteenth.
Right.
Again. And they probably could have went without the red, green, and yellow. Right? Is that what you said? Was
the packet? Yeah, the packaging.
Yeah, they probably could have went without that. But yeah, there's no making anybody happy.
Nope. They also made one for Pride Month, which is the whole month of June.
Is that also a problem?
There's nothing about it in here, but that flavor is white chocolate ice cream with brownies and cherries. So I don't know what the significance is there with Pride.
Probably nothing.
9. Yeah,
no,
nothing.
sounds like even with the Juneteenth, it's
just a random flavor.
Yeah, it's just a random flavor.
Yeah, so what it is, like someone literally came up with a new idea for a flavor and they just slapped the Juneteenth label on it.
Yeah, or Pride Month, whatever.
Or Pride Month. That's the two. So because of the massive backlash from the Juneteenth ice cream, Walmart officially pulled the ice cream off the store shelves and issued a public apology to Fox LA. They said Juneteenth holiday marks a celebration of freedom and independence. There's that word that you use.
Oh, see, I was right.
However, we received feedback that a few items caused concern for some of our customers, and we sincerely apologize. We are reviewing our assortment and will remove items as appropriate. So they caved. They took it off the shelves and then they made a public apology.
Oh, that usually makes things worse.
Yep.
Because they could have just kept selling it, just like left it there.
Yeah. And hey, just don't buy it.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Pretty sure that's how that works.
Or don't shop there.
Yeah. You guys are so keen to boycott things and cancel stuff. Like, go ahead, cancel Walmart.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. So, fuck everybody and everything. Let's get the fuck out of here. Before you hopefully blow up the world or the world just explodes, go to mybookie.com. See if you can find odds on when the world's going to end over there. And then use our promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up to double your first deposit up to $1,000. And then, if the off chance that the world doesn't explode and you still have to live and go day to day, you're going to need to eat something. So if you want your food to taste way fucking better than it does now, go to grillyourassoff.com and use the same promo code Sarcasm Pod, and you'll get 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. They got the world's best seasonings, barbecue sauces. They got pickles. The hot sauce is phenomenal. Everything over there is great. So go check them out at grillyourassoff.com, promo code sarcasmpod. You can get us on Twitter at sarcasm_speaks. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The Instagram is Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Our website is Sarcasm Speaks. The merch store is off of our Instagram. I'm going to see if I can put together that Meteor Volcano 2024 t-shirt. And yeah, like, rate, subscribe, review, thumbs up on YouTube. Tell everybody you know about the show. And we'll see you next time. Bye then.